for that inch.
Rarely do I see any American Italians eating in here.
But I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
Villkoret är att jag får leva.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Welcome to Real Genius. I'm Chris Vognar, culture critic for the Dallas Morning News.
And I'm Pac-Man.
Waka waka waka. Congratulations, by the way, on surviving Pixels.
I'm not sure I survived it.
We
I saw it, but I didn't survive it.
You left a little piece of your Wilonsky soul at the theater.
A little dark, black
Yes.
Wilonsky heart.
Yes. We did see Pixels. It's funny, for me, when I go see an Adam Sandler movie, it's usually going to be a little better than what I expected, just because I expect a complete abomination. And so, I'm not going to say I liked Pixels, which is the video game action comedy that is being promoted until we all die of pixelation. But it just wasn't quite as horrible as I imagined. How about this? I was expecting miserable and I just got bad.
See, when I go to an Adam Sandler movie, it's usually at gunpoint.
Yeah, that too.
In fact, have I ever told you the story about the time that a very well-known studio executive tried to get me banned from going to Adam Sandler movies because I was not very kind to Adam Sandler movies?
Do tell.
I'm not sure how much of it I can actually get into here, but that did actually happen. There was a studio executive whose name, if I were to mention it, you would know, relayed through a local publicist that I was not to be allowed into any other Adam Sandler movies.
This in Dallas or L.A.?
In Dallas. And my response to that was, that's the nicest gift anyone has ever given me. Please, please, please ban me from Adam Sandler movies. Problem is when you have an 11-year-old, almost 12-year-old, who really likes video games, retro video games. I had to go see Pixels, and I knew we were doing it today anyway. But yeah, it did not make me a happy person.
But yeah, so this is a movie about former childhood friends who grew up to be Adam Sandler, and Kevin James as the President of the United States, by the way, and Josh Gad, who is maybe the saving grace of this thing, because he's kind of fun in just about everything he does. But turns out that their video game nerdiness will come in very handy because the world is being attacked by, wouldn't you know it, by centipedes and Pac-Man and Donkey Kongs and stuff like that. So yeah, we need them.
Let's take a look at it.
More than ever,
Let's
Robert.
talk about it.
We need them.
Because
they're the arcaders.
When you see a few minutes, a few seconds of it, it looks pretty decent, actually. It's not an incompetent film. It's directed by Chris Columbus. I assume he directed it. I assume he had something to do with it. His name's on it.
I think he directed it.
But it doesn't have much of a, it doesn't feel, it's competent, so I guess he directed it.
It's produced by Sandler's company, though.
Right, so I assume Adam Sandler had a lot more to do with it than, Chris Columbus at the end of it. So let's take a look at it. I don't know what clip you picked.
This is the Pac-Man clip.
All right, it's the Pac-Man clip.
Let's hit it!
Pac-Man's faster than I remember.
Pac-Man's always been faster than the Ghost. We're gonna have to outmaneuver.
We got him. He's got nowhere to go. Oh, God, no.
Critter, get out! He's going to eat you!
So I did not have to review this. Our great video game guru, Britton Peele, did that for me. Thank you.
Who was not alive when we were playing these games,
no, he
by
wasn't,
the way.
but he is a gamer. He is now a gamer, and he takes this stuff very seriously.
I took this stuff seriously in 1982.
But he takes it seriously now, and he really didn't like it. So that's kind of what I was thinking as I was leaving. I was like, I didn't like this, but I didn't feel personally offended by it. I think if I were a gamer, I would have taken it deeper and more personally.
Okay, so let's back up and talk about a couple things real quick that really pissed me off about this movie.
Okay.
Like I said, it is competent at times, and there are moments when it is mildly entertaining.
I'm going to say all of the game scenes are pretty fun.
No, if it had just been the game scenes, first of all, the movie would have been 15 minutes, a fantastic 15 minutes.
It was 2 minutes. It was a 2 minute short.
Right,
before it became.
but it's an hour and 48 minutes. An hour and 33 of which are completely unnecessary. A lot of talking, and Adam Sandler Is he a straight man now? Is that
He-
what I'm being led to believe? Because
He
he's
is
not funny at all in
He's
this.
a straighter man. I will say, I mean, let you get on with your point. I found him kind of appealing in this movie.
Because he's
in a
not
very-
trying hard to be funny.
He is not trying that hard to be funny,
Yeah.
and I think he actually can be I think we saw in Punch Drunk Love, for instance.
Well, look.
that he
Whoa,
can,
whoa, whoa,
he
whoa,
can
whoa,
be
whoa.
a decent actor.
There are a handful of Adam Sandler movies that I will watch willingly. Punch Drunk Love is top of that list, and he hates when people bring it up because, you know, it's not hard to be serious.
Yeah, it's P.T. Anderson.
Right, but
It's not
he
him.
hates when people bring it up because it's the aberration on the filmography.
Funny people.
It's so long.
Watchable, though.
It's so long.
It is.
The Wedding Singer,
Pretty fun.
pretty fun.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore's not terrible.
No.
And I do really like 50 First Dates with Drew Barrymore.
Okay.
I thought that was charming. And it's not trying, and again, he's not trying super hard to be super funny, so he's kind of affable in that. So that's my top Adam Sandler movies. This
Okay.
is somewhere, seriously, this is actually kind of somewhere in the middle.
So let's talk more about the stuff that pissed you off. That's what I want
So what pissed me off about this is that this is ostensibly, in a weird way, kind of the sequel to King of Kong, which is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Great documentary.
King of Kong, a documentary about gamers who in the early 1980s became the celebrities because they were great at playing video games. One of whom, Billy Mitchell, is the King of Kong, the greatest Donkey Kong player alive.
He's kind of a jerk.
And clearly the character upon whom Peter Dinklage's character is based here. Now, you know, same hair, same cocky attitude, same swagger, same look, same everything for the most part. He's clearly Billy Mitchell without Billy Mitchell didn't do prison time.
That we know of.
But that's what it is. So you take this great conceit, this idea that gamers who in the 80s had their one brief moment of brilliance. They got on the cover of Life magazine. I wrote about one of these guys who lives here, Ben Gold.
I remember Ben, yeah.
One of the greatest, video gamers of all time. The idea is, what do you do with your skill from 1982 when the Earth is being attacked by Centipede in 2015?
Right.
Well, what else do you do? But you
Could
get
happen.
giant guns and you go out and you shoot Centipede in the head and try to destroy the mushrooms and hope for the best. Great idea. But the execution is just so weirdly clunky. It's just so boring. To take this great idea and make something so tedious and talky, I find to be
Clunky.
just
Boring.
generally unforgivable. I mean, it really is a tremendously good idea. It's a really funny idea. These characters are really interesting if you took them and made them interesting.
It's also an idea
The problem
that's-
is they're cartoon characters fighting video game characters, and that's not appealing to me.
It's an idea that's being explored in a slightly different way in a new novel by an Austin writer, Ernest Cline.
Right, who wrote Player One.
Ready Player One. His new
Ready
book
Player
is
One.
Armada.
Right.
In which video game greats are recruited to pilot drones to save the world,
Right.
essentially.
Which is an idea that it's been around since forever. I mean, it's not the first time this has
Last
ever been around. either.
Starfighter,
Last Starfighter is this
certainly.
exact same idea. So that said, it's Independence Day. It feels like everything I've seen, but it had this really novel conceit, and to just flounder, to flounder like it does, and to waste it is inexcusable.
So I can tell you were kind of personally, and I don't think it's bad to be personally offended by a movie. I think that's a good response. It means you care about it. I just expected so little, and I ended up getting a tiny bit more than what I expected.
I expected more from it for some strange reason, because of all the things that it pieces together. It takes this great idea. I mean, they're playing behind us now is the Donkey Kong sequence, which could have been great, but strangely enough, that feels super tossed on at the end. Like it's just this climactic moment that they just, like, oh God, we forgot about this Donkey Kong thing. We got to go back and add that in. It just feels really rushed because they spend so much time talking and feeling and doing all these things that they don't need to do because they're not very good at doing them. These characters are not interesting enough to be invested in them. The movie doesn't even think that until it stops down to spend time with them, and they're not interesting. I'm sorry, Kevin James is married to a very funny actress in the film. Jane
Krasinski. No, Jane something.
From 30
No,
Rock.
we're talking
From
about.
30 Rock.
She was in Ally McBeal
She's on
and
30 Rock.
Krakowski.
Krakowski.
Thank you. Yes.
God dang,
Thank
you said Krasinski. I'm like, what? Did I get it wrong?
It's John
Krakowski.
Krasinski.
John Krasinski.
Yeah.
She has one line in the whole movie.
My Polish ancestors are rolling
She
over.
has
in
one
their
line in
graves.
the whole movie. She's one of the funniest people on TV in the last 15 years. You give her one line.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of the movie's approach to women as well. I mean, one of an actual trophy who I don't think has a single line. In
She doesn't speak a word.
Is just this blonde woman who appears to, out of nowhere to be Josh Gad's fantasy gal.
Sexual reward.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, the biggest problem with this movie is that the most interesting character in it is Qbert. Okay?
DJ Qbert?
That's
in
it.
this? Oh, okay.
Qbert is the most interesting, likable, affable, relatable character in the whole movie. It stars people, I believe.
It's the Qbert story.
Look, man, if I want to watch this crap, I'll go watch Wreck-It Ralph. I mean,
pretty
there's
good.
just better versions, better iterations of the same idea. Wreck-It Ralph is a tremendous movie, and Qbert, by the way, is really good in that as well.
I love how Kevin James' character just became president. Somehow he can't read. That's one of the jokes that they make. But he didn't have to go to Harvard Law or Yale or anything like that. He's just president. His best friend is the guy who's kind of the geek squad.
Right.
Adam Sandler's character, and his best friend, president of the United States. Why not?
Right. Whatever. We've already spent way too much time talking about this damn movie.
Pixels. It's a movie.
My kid, by the way, if you want to know,
theaters.
He asked me what I'd give it. I said a C-.
That's exactly what Britain gave it.
Harry said he'd give it a B-. So if you have a 12-year-old, first of all, congratulations. Second of all, you'll probably end up seeing this. Third of all, I'm really sorry.
And your kid might like it. Okay.
But just talk them out of how much they like it. Remind them that it's just crap.
How to talk to your kids about seeing pixels.
That's my first book. How to talk to your kid about pixels. It's not very good. You're wrong.
We will be back next week with maybe something possibly better.
Couldn't be worse.
See you then.